Hi, I'm Andrea Martel, Joy Scientist, and very honoured to be the host of a gathering of women called the Waking Women's Collective. So, the purpose of this video is to talk about the Waking Women's Collective in regards to how we want the space to be managed. So, this is a really special gathering of women. We've been running for over 2 years now, and being 2020, we've had to take in our space to the online world, and so this has opened up, I guess, a wider audience, an opportunity to be, sharing on a global level, which is really incredible. So this has also highlighted the need to have clearer, defined rules of engagement, um, so that we can retain the flavour and the integrity of the container that we're holding ultimately. So from now onwards, all women that are joining us in the Waking Women's Collective gathering are agreeing to these pillars, okay, these fundamentals of how we want to manage ourselves in this space. So entry is actually conditional on agreeing to what I'm about to go through, okay? Your entry, your presence, it is assumed that you have listened to this and that you agree, okay, to all of the terms that I'm about to go through. So that way it's clear for you, okay, and that everyone else in the gathering knows how to play, okay, in the space, without exceptions then, okay. If the agreements don't resonate, then it's not your space, okay. It's just there'll be other gatherings that suit you more appropriately, okay, and we honor you in that. There is no judgment, okay. So ultimately, I'm here to facilitate and host a very open sharing space. And so as a result, we have to maintain and work to have the most efficient and effective management of this. Okay, from my experience over the years of running this, these are the rules that best support these outcomes that we are creating for ourselves and collectively for the Waking Women's Collective. So ultimately, the purpose of these agreements is to support everyone in our community to feel safe. Okay, so first off, all parts are welcome. So this is a share space. We share our joys and we share our pains equally. This community values this. We don't wear masks. We don't pretend that we are okay when we're not. Okay, there are ample places where we can go to have superficial level conversations. The women here are desiring more than that. That's why we're showing up in this space intentionally, to have a different level of conversation than what we would typically have in the outside world. Okay, so this, we choose to show up in order to deepen our connection that honors ourselves fully, okay, allowing all parts of ourselves wherever we're at in the moment when we're joining this gathering to be in our own integrity and alignment in all of us, not just the shiny, happy parts, okay, not just the parts that are attractive and easy to deal with, okay. We're moving beyond that. Judgment-free zone is the next agreement. So yes, we are human And yes, we are built to judge. Our brains are hardwired to make very quick judgments. However, the women in our gathering, what we do is we notice and observe and acknowledge our judgments as being a part of ourselves. So noticing if I am judging another woman in our gathering, okay, maybe I think that she speaks too much or speaks too loudly, okay, so just getting really present to that part of myself, okay. Perhaps I'm having that judgment if I drop down underneath it and actually discover that it's actually there's some resentment there because I'm not feeling heard because I haven't actually given myself the opportunity to share. Okay, judgments are a really powerful way to develop a stronger connection to ourselves. Everything that we see externally is representation of something internally. Okay, and we really honor that in the group, realizing that our judgments are telling us more about ourselves than they are of what we're actually judging. Okay. Number 3, 100% confidentiality. We only share from our personal experiences and we respect everyone's privacy. We don't share what other people have shared within the gathering with others outside. Okay, and that way we get to have the safety of knowing that our shares are not going any further than the gathering. Okay, and we are honouring that for the other women in the gathering. Okay, self-responsibility is the next one. So 100% responsibility for self. If we're not coping, then let someone know. If we're finding content or concepts or the conversation being uncomfortable, honor that and ask yourself, what is it that I really need? Okay, really checking in. Okay, if you need support, be willing to request it. Again, also owning our own judgments and triggers and acknowledge ourselves in the humanness of having those, becoming curious about where they are coming from. Okay, as I've said, these are just the goal to discovering and healing aspects of ourselves. Okay, so 100% self-responsibility. Again, seek support if this is needed. The next one is that we're creating a space holding environment. Notice when you feel compelled to save someone from their own discomfort. For the most part, we are here to witness others, honor their parts, and acknowledge that no one actually needs saving. We are practicing the art of space holding, which for many of us is a new skill. And so unlike any new skill, it can be challenging. When someone is experiencing and sharing an unpleasant scenario or an unpleasant feeling that they're having, we often by default go to offer comfort, advice. This might even be in the form of grabbing a tissue or reaching out to touch someone. This is very natural. However, when we examine this, generally underneath is our own discomfort in that unpleasantness. And what we're attempting to do is actually dispel the unpleasantness for them and more so for ourselves. Okay, so just acknowledging that, noticing, and again, just sitting with that feeling of wanting to dispel something and honoring that. Okay, so this is very powerful, and it's a beautiful thing to come along and actually have the experience of in our gathering. The next one is permission. So before offering advice, feedback, solutions, ask permission, because for that woman, that may not be what they're there for. Okay, they may not have joined the gathering for that. So when sharing yourself, feel free to state what it is that you need or don't need from the group in that share. So simply saying, I just need to be heard or witnessed. This indicates that you're not needing anything else from the group in that moment. That's where we'll be holding that space. Okay. Or perhaps you are very much in dire need of some additional advice, feedback, or support from the group. Okay, and by stating so is giving permission for others to then offer up their wisdom and their shared experiences of that. Okay. Now, your host of Waking Women's Collective, I am a qualified transformational life coach. And so my skills are also here to be drawn on, okay, if you request it. Okay. If I see a potential opportunity for a coaching scenario to take place within the gathering, I will ask for permission from that person before commencing. Okay, and again, everyone has self-responsibility to own their choice in that. Okay, and there is no judgments on which choice is made there either. I will often offer up group processes, activations, or meditations. And again, you have self-responsibility, choice, whether or not you want to participate in that. On the flip side, you don't have to share. However, you'll be highly encouraged to. Okay, it might be in joining the gathering. Okay, the part of you that is showing up is not ready, okay, to have their space held. Okay, and we will honor you in that. Okay. That being said, you get what you put in, right? Okay, so when we do make ourselves available in a sharing scenario, is that it balances the energy of all the women in the gathering, and prevents that misbalance where you may have participated in an event and there's been someone who sort of just lurks on the outside, who's just an observer and not really a participant, as they're not participating. So that being said, if you are not feeling to share, then state that as such, and in doing that you're actually sharing and participating and just balancing out that unevenness in the energy there. Lastly, this is an advertising free zone, so please do not use this space for promotional purposes, posting adverts or marketing. We are up for resource sharing, so if there's a book, if there's an event, if there's something that you personally have been to and would like to share that may be a benefit to others in the group, if appropriate, or you're attending that and would like to share that you're doing that, that's okay. It's a benefit to the group. However, if there's something that you are personally offering up or are going to profit by promoting, please, this just isn't that space. Instead, contact me directly, sell to me. Okay, let me check it out. And again, if I feel appropriate, then that can be something that gets shared and made available to the group. But we do not, this is not a place for hard selling and promotion. Yeah, so Thank you for listening. Um, Hopefully, all of this resonates with you, and as such, we'll see you at our next gathering. If there's any concerns or um, further questions, then please contact me directly to discuss. Um, and as mentioned, by actually attending, you are effectively saying that you have agreed to the aforementioned, and we really look forward to welcoming you to the Waking Women's Collective. With my heart and soul, thank you very much, Andrea Martel, Joy Scientist.